did before, so you can take control of the
Okay.
stream. But we're going to go live now. And okay, we are live. Welcome everybody. I started the stream, but this is really Rusty's show. We'll let him take over and do his spiel. Go ahead, Rusty.
Oh, well, good evening, Stunt Hangar fans. I'm officially back. I've yet to get Sparky to help me learn to start the show up. And I've got a lot of background chatter. Do you, Sparky? Okay. Anyway, glad to be back. I'm starting to feel like I got enough energy to make it through a show and enough wits about me to control it. So here we are, the Stunt Hangar new hangout format. Everybody's tried it so far. It's called Jitsi. The links are still posted in the bench thread on the Stunt Hangar Control Line forums, and the live feed can also be watched on the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel homepage. So you can get there either way, and so we're still getting used to it. There are some differences that you'll like. There might be some you don't like, but anyway, hey, I see a picture of me behind Mike over there. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, man, what's going on? The YouTube
Not
feed
much.
isn't on the link.
Yeah.
The YouTube feed didn't come up for me.
Yeah, it didn't come up because I haven't got it up yet.
Yeah, Sparky's
okay,
just
all
still getting the show set up.
I got you.
Yeah, we're a little clunky tonight because I still don't know how to work it. Me and Sparky are going to get together in the middle of this week, so by the time Friday night gets here, I'll be up to speed on how to start the show. Right now, I'm having Sparky set it up, and then I'm just coming in and taking over.
I got you.
So anyway, so that's pretty much all of our welcomes. The chat box should be out after the YouTube feed starts, and it'll have the super chat in it, just as like always. And so, Sparky, you wanna pass it off to me, or you want to just stay the way we are right now?
Well, I'm working on getting it all set up, but you can go ahead and go into the live control room and get that open.
Okay, let me see if I can. I got to remember how to do that.
Go into my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, good start.
Let's see here. Watch here.
Okay, so for those of you that are just beginning to watch us, like Mike, dropping in early, just bear with us while we get this all sorted out. I'm waiting for YouTube to open right now, and I will log into the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel. Still waiting.
Okay, the link to the video is in that. If you want to go in there and I don't know. This is it. There's so much to do. It's not the same as it was before.
Yeah, I'm switching accounts right now over to Stunt Hangar, so I'll let you know when I'm over on the YouTube side. It looks like it's happening now. Come on. Okay, and open the Creator Studio.
We have 6 viewers right now.
Okay. Bear with us, viewers. We're getting things set up here. We're going to have a show tonight. Okay, I am at live streaming and waiting for its menu to pop out with.
We're gonna get the control room. Live control room. It should be a black page.
Okay, I'm on Stunt Hangar YouTube live streaming and events right now. Is that what I'm supposed to click?
No. Let me get it open again here. I'm eating up the bandwidth.
Oh, I'm supposed to open live control room in a new tab, am I not?
Wait until I get you there because it's not the same as what you normally do. So we go to Creator Studio. Oh God, come on.
Don't worry, it's slow over here too.
Okay, you click on live streaming
Got it.
and the drop down, come on, let's go. Then it says live control room. It's live streaming or stream now, events, live control room.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
Okay, so you click on live control room. I think this is right.
Last
Click on
time,
live.
yeah, last time I right clicked on live control room and opened it in a new tab.
Right.
Okay, I'm doing that now. Open link in new tab. Here we go. And
And then it has a picture of Stunt Hangar videos and it says Stunt Hangar Monday night returns, Rusty returns, and then you want to hit live dashboard. It's a blue button.
okay, yeah, I'm still waiting for it to get that far.
We're just sucking down the bandwidth with all these windows open.
Yeah. Well, that didn't open what I was expecting. I don't have that black screen. It just, oh, come on.
Here, I'll put it in chat, the correct link where you're supposed to be. But you're gonna have to learn where that is. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in Jitsi Meet and in the chat box in Jitsi.
Yeah.
Click on that. That's where you should be.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I just found I had opened a new tab and didn't realize it. I'm loading that black page now.
You are? Okay, there should be a blue button that says live control room.
There will be in a minute. There's not yet. Okay. There's nothing written on the button yet, but everything's popping up. And live dashboard button is up. I think there's some more stuff that's going to pop up, but I've got, yeah, webcam stream and manage up at the top. Stunt Hangar logo, live dashboard, blue button.
All right. This screen looks a little different than what we're normally used to. It's a black screen. In the left is the video. It shows the playbacks, the people, current viewers, and the time it's running, and the chat on the right.
Mine still hadn't loaded all that crap yet. It has yet to load the chat and yet to load the preview of the video.
What do you see? Is it a black screen? Is it?
It's a black screen. It says manage live and schedule streams. Under that, it's got your Stunt Hangar, your standard Stunt Hangar video logo. It says Monday night.
Live dashboard.
Live, yeah, and it says live dashboard. Okay.
That's the button.
Oh, got it. Okay. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Now the chat box is popping up and the preview or the video is popping up in the top left window. And
on the top right, you got to slow down, Rusty. You keep talking and I'm trying to walk you through it. On the top right, it says end stream. Is that right?
that is correct.
Okay, you're in the right spot.
Yes.
Okay, I got to get out of this window. Okay, you've got control of it. Remember that in 2 hours, the Jitsi browser ends the stream by itself. So you have to restart it by going down to the 3 dots in the corner and then start stream again.
Okay.
And then when you end it all, close out Jitsi, go back to the control room and hit the red button, end the stream on YouTube.
Okay.
Because this is taking the place of OBS.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's sort of like what it was. So let me pop out the chat box too. So I'll have it. That way I can see our YouTubers. Okay. Got that popped out. Yeah, this is confusing. I got so much crap open. Okay, chat box is popped out. I'm going to minimize this control center and go back to Jitsi Meet. Okay, so
There you go.
we're up and running. Okay, I think I got more tabs open than I actually needed, but now got it pared down. Okay.
Should have 2 is all you need.
Okay, so yeah, let me pop my chat box out where I can see. And it's also, is there a place that tells us who all is, how many people are watching? I don't see that. I guess I'd have to go back to the YouTube page, but I won't worry about that.
13 viewers now, 16 playbacks, 4 minutes, 30 seconds we've been running.
Okay.
That live dashboard tells everything. It says the Thorn 1260, hey guy, looks good, Sparky. Okay, Gary Sinclair said, good evening, Rusty and friends.
Oh, great. Hey, Gary, got your card in the mail. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got everything you've got. Yeah, I see. Okay, so yeah, 12 viewers. Okay, excellent.
Current is 14, 1 like, 0 chat revenue. You see, it shows everything right there. It shows the bandwidth and everything.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, we'll get it figured out. I'll just have to play with it a few times, but I think I can handle that. I'm repositioning everything on the window right now so I can find it, and we're looking good. And I was able to pause that preview video on the control page, and it didn't seem to screw up anything. I figured I'd give it a shot, and that saves me some bandwidth on my side too. All right, let me tile it so I can see you and Mike, and oh, Jared's with us. Hey, Jared, how you doing tonight?
All right.
All right, this is the Rusty Comes Back show. If Rusty can figure out how to work it by himself Friday night anyway. But anyway, glad to be back. Everything's getting bigger, faster, and better. And not wearing a stone on my arm anymore. Can't do a lot with it, but I can do more every day. So that's a good thing. And so anyway, so Mike, what you got going on? You been doing anything interesting lately?
Well, it's not airplane related, but it's motor related. You might be interested in gearheads.
Yeah, especially if it's about your flyer.
I got Sam's mini bike up here on the table, and I got the cover off, and I have taken the governor out of here. There's a little governor gear.
Little centrifugal thing. Yeah.
Yeah, centrifugal. It opens, there's a butterfly in there. It opens up and slows it down. So I got that out, got a new gasket ready to go. I'm getting ready to put it back together. I've joined it's a Coleman CT200 mini bike is what it is. And I joined a forum. So these things will go about 12 miles an hour till you take the screw out of the carburetor. Then they'll go 18. If you take that governor out and put a Mikuni carb and a header on it, they're supposed to do 41 miles an hour.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So
now you got to make sure the frame and everything can handle that kind of speed.
Oh, it can handle it. There's guys doing all kinds of stuff with these things. You can pop wheelies on them, take the governor out. It's got enough torque
Wow.
to do it. But just taking the governor out should get me up to about 36 miles an hour. And then I'm going to order the Mikuni carb and the header muffler for it. And that'll add another 5 miles an hour, they say. These guys got a channel on YouTube where they tear these things down, and they got a GPS speedometer on their phone, and they show you every little thing you do, how much miles per hour you can increase it. So I'm going to get this thing back together tonight, now that I got it out, and I'm going to go rip it down the street and see what I can get out of it.
Hey, they make a deal on the carburetor where you can run nitro in them and alcohol.
I don't want to do all that. It's just, I run 93 in it, but the Mikuni carb and the header should get me all the way. It should get it to 40 miles an hour at least. That's what these guys on YouTube are doing with them.
Yeah.
Hey, is Sam already in bed, Mike?
He is.
Oh, okay.
Well, if he's
Friday,
not, he's
Friday
like
night. Friday night, if you get on, I want to talk to him. I have a question for him.
You got a question for him?
Yeah.
Well, I can go see if he's up still. It's 9 o'clock, isn't it? He should be getting sent up to bed right now.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here in Michigan.
Well, it's 9 here. Hey, Sam.
Oh, okay.
Come here. Come here. Yeah, he's up. Mom was just getting ready to send him up, but I'll let him come out for a minute. Come here. Steve Hines has a question for you. I don't know what it is, but he wants to talk to you. Steve does.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Hey,
Hey, what kind of stunt plane you want to fly next year for Christmas? I'm going to build you one.
Oh, my goodness. What?
You think about it, and you let me know if you want a Vector or a Legacy or something like that. I don't know if I'll get it done by Christmas, but we'll get it to you so you can start flying in the spring at least.
That's a lot to think about.
What do you say to that?
thank you.
That's pretty awesome.
Let me know so I can get the kit coming.
Steve, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much.
No, that's not too. If he needed 60s, I got 60 size kits, but that's going to be too big for him right now.
I think a 40 size kit would be the most he can handle. Right? A 40, something in a 40.
You know, I thought about that little Ellie. That's 25, but I think he's going to be beyond that next year.
Yeah, he'll be past the 5 size stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
he has 46 size profiles, but they're the ones that I built for him that are, they're like 37 ounces. They're pretty light and they don't pull a lot. The other 46 size full bodied stuff we have just seems to pull like a truck for him, and that was the issue. So
yeah, we're going to try to get this really light. Everything I've kind of learned about on the way of lightening them up and getting wood from Tom Morris and all that kind of stuff. We'll get something that's light, flies good.
And they say you can trim those big planes to fly pretty light on the lines too, and still with authority.
Not necessarily that it's a big or small airplane. It's just it's got to be light on the lines, and we don't. That fits the bill. All the full-bodied 46 size stuff I bought at contest or swap meets or he was given, and they're on the heavy side. So they pull a lot.
Yeah, Samantha said that one of Tryon airplane of his pulled less than a 40.
I believe it.
So, but we just got to get it, built right and stuff like that. But yeah, you think about it. Maybe by Friday, or it ain't no hurry. But you let me know, and I'll get the kit ordered and start working on it.
What do you say, Brent?
Thank you.
Okay. Say good night.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night, Sam.
Get
All
good.
right, I've got something I want to throw in at this point. Sparky, when somebody is showing something or when I want to present someone, if I just click on, is it just like Hangouts where if I click on their little film strip picture, will they dominate what broadcasts over on YouTube and to what everybody else here
No,
sees?
no,
Doesn't change that at all.
no.
It-
It does here in Jitsi, but it doesn't on YouTube.
Okay. So we don't really have any control over presenting if we want to highlight something, do we?
The only way you can do something like that is if you start the stream with the follow me on it. Let me see.
There's 100% increase on looks on this thing.
She's off to bed too. Today was their first full day of school, so
Oh boy. Man, it's August. We're not supposed to go back to school this early. It seems like well, I guess it was the last week of August back when I was a kid. It seems like is when we went to school.
hey, I agree, man. If you ask me, they get too much time off during the school year. They get, October they're going to have 5 days off in 2 months. They're going to have 5 days off, and then they get Thanksgiving off, and they get 2 weeks at Christmas. Then there's Easter break. Then there's spring break. I think they get way too much time off during the year. I'd rather they had it during the summer and had less time off during the school year, but
Yeah.
that's just the way they do it now,
Or if they
you know?
broke it up evenly, like 45 on and 45 off was a proposal we had at one time when Al was a kid. And that way parents could schedule vacations easily all the calendar year round without having to do it over a busy week where everybody takes vacations like Easter, Christmas, and all that.
Well, here in
Sorry about
Michigan, you can't even start school after Labor Day.
Labor Day. Yeah, that's how it was for me growing up.
Yeah,
Sorry about
because
that.
of all the parks and all that kind of stuff. They want to keep it open so people spend money.
Hey, I'm going to put my phone down and just kind of listen here for a while I'm putting this mini bike back together. I'll see if I can get it aimed at me at
Okay.
least. But I'm going to bow out
Yeah,
of the
give us
conversation and just work and listen to you guys talk. Okay?
sounds cool. Give us a video update once in a while on what's coming along, and we'll just hang out here and chatter. Jeff Riley joined us, so we good evening, Jeff. How are
Hey, Jeff.
you?
Good. How you feeling, Dusty?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm slowly getting control of my left arm back, which is good. It's still swollen, and it's going to be for a while. I can't do a lot with it, but I can bear some weight, so I can carry a dinner tray or something like that, for instance. And so gradually getting to where I can take care of myself again. Not cleared to drive, and not going to happen anytime soon, I bet. But
So what did you do? Run a 7-inch cabinet screw down into your arm?
they said it was about 6 centimeters long, a screw that goes down. Let me present myself. I don't know if that helps you or not.
So
Does it make
now
me
you
big? But
now you
anyway,
get cards at the airport so you can get through the metal detector.
they they went straight down. If you can see my picture, straight down parallel to my neck through the top of the humerus, which is the ball socket, and kept on going down into the bone past the break, and screwed it together with a locking thread screw and glue, and sealed it up and sent me home.
So did you ask them if they use Gorilla Glue so you get hair on your chest, or not? Did you forget to ask them?
I did not get to ask that question. I'm sorry. I was blabbering a lot of stuff, but I don't think that's part of what came out. Al, my son, was there, and he was telling me, "Dad, do you remember telling him this or that?" And he said, "Do you remember telling him that you never take drugs to get high again?" I
You should have.
apparently told him that, and
You should have
when I
asked him if
kept,
you'd been able to play the violin.
yeah, I should have asked them if I could ever fly a control line plane again, but they wouldn't have known what a control line plane was.
Those guys are
So
too rich.
parking, is that cleared?
No, I'll do that I just ordered some more clear from Wicks. It'll be in probably Wednesday. I'll take it to work and clear it.
Cool. Looks nice.
Yeah, I got all that help on paint design. Were you on the show Friday?
No, I actually fell asleep. I took a pain pill, and man, I was out. And I woke up at after 12 o'clock and watched it on YouTube. But
Everybody was trying to teach me how to lay out a paint job. Give me a break.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trey's an authority on laying out your paint job,
Yeah,
making it symmetrical.
There's a yellow stripe behind here. You can't hardly see it.
Yeah.
It's light. It'll get ink lines around that. All this
I
will
like
get ink.
the green and the yellow intertwined. Looks really cool. I like that.
looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
What?
It'll get ink.
Well, what I know, he was trying to say about straight lines and curved lines. What I like about the checkerboard there and the blue and green, green and yellow. Jesus, I think I've been drinking. It sweeps with the wingtips. If you would have had straight wingtips, then that more has to be straight or whatever. But with the curves, that's what he was kind of saying. That's why I think that paint job worked so well, is because of how the wingtips are, than how that up there against the fuse looks. It kind of blends with the wingtips and the sweepiness of the airplane.
All this, and all the lettering and the canopy and the eagle on the back on the rudder. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
We're done in
yeah.
one setting on Saturday, and then on Sunday I went back to John's house and laid out the red and shot the red. So it's a 2-day paint job.
Looks real nice. Now, so you'll be able to fly it in a couple weeks?
I'll be able to fly it Tuesday.
Oh, you don't wait so long and let the clear all.
No, I'll clear it on Wednesday when I get the clear from Wicks. I'll ink it on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday I'll clear it, and I might fly it Sunday or Tuesday,
Oh, okay.
and it'll be buffed out before I go to FCM.
That's cool. Yeah, I've heard different things that you have to wait so many days and let it gas off so that the fuel doesn't bother the clear coat, stuff like that.
Well, you don't want to get any clear or any fuel on it, but the oil's not going to hurt anything. There's nothing in it. Yeah, I picked up a hanger rash already. I just noticed there's a little dent right there. Yeah.
Let me update the YouTube list here. The chat box says Frank Washburn, Gary Sinclair. Sparky announced him when he came in. Jack Snavely's watching us, and Gerald Wimmer's out there watching us. So, hey,
Gerald?
all you folks, appreciate y'all coming in.
Hi, Rusty. Hi, Sparky.
Hey, man.
Gerald's in here with us for real. Okay.
Yeah, I had difficulty getting in, but I've lowered my bandwidth and I seem to be working now.
We got
You're
17 viewers and 2 likes. I don't know why we don't have 17 likes, but we got 2 likes and 17 viewers.
I'm one of the likes, so I've clicked on it already.
Hit the thumbs up button, guys. It helps the channel move up. We're already being suppressed.
So, Jared, when do you plan on flying that?
I've already flew it.
Are you already flown it?
Yeah, I'm just putting on a little Russian accent now. Some stars.
So is it hard to see being silver, or is it easy to see, or what?
I can't see the silver actually because all I see is just the straight,
Oh, okay.
profile of the plane. So it's really no different to me. I can't really see much. The only thing you can really see flying it is the muffler and the control horn. So
Which engine is that?
415.
Well, that's a hauling ass one, huh?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a badass engine.
Aren't them about $400 now?
About 300, I think.
300. Wow. I know they really go though.
Buying them combat motors no different than buying PAs.
Yeah.
Hell, it's no different than this Super Tiger here. This Super Tiger is over $300 because it's got the Brian Gardner liner in it.
Do you see a difference in that Sparky with the Brian Gardner liner?
I can't tell you. I haven't flown it yet.
Oh, you never flown one with the Brian Gardner liner?
Oh, it sure has a whole lot more compression and it starts a lot easier. You know, I just ran it on the bench.
Yeah, I know one guy has the LA-46 and really likes that.
I'm just hoping that Brian has the same port timing as a stock engine.
Oh, okay.
These guys that want to modify port timing to make them run better, you cannot beat the stock port timing.
You know, of all the 60s that me and my dad and grandfather have ever run, we have never touched them. We've never had them reworked, never changed nothing. Other than we put a Venturi in it. That's I don't know if you're familiar with the Bullring 46 that came out. It was a Schnurley ported engine, and they made a Venturi for it. And we took the Venturi out of that and we put in the 60. That's the only thing we've ever done. And ours run perfect. I don't understand why everybody says, "Oh, they got to be reworked and refined, head shinned, and this and that." We've got 12 of them, and they all run perfect.
Yep, I've set them up all the same way. I've got a Randy Delrun Venturi in this and a PA spray bar, and either a tongue muffler, a tube muffler, a 13.6 rev up propeller on straight chapter and fuel, and they run absolutely perfect. And it's stock. The timing is stock. The only reason why I want to go with ABC is because of the rings. You know, the rings wear out, but ABC will last a lot longer.
As long as you don't get dirt on that ABC motor, that seems to be the only problem that people seem to encounter. You scratch that soft piston.
Can't stuff it in the ground and have dirt run through it. But
Yeah. If you're flying on a dusty field, a filter might be a good idea with an ABC motor. But I've seen
run them blue line filters. Is that your dog barking, Rusty?
No, I don't have a dog.
Oh, okay.
That must be Steve's dog. Looks like Steve disappeared. I'm pretty sure that was Steve's dog.
Yeah.
Now, if it was my dog, he'd be outside now.
Oh, another thing I want you to do, never put Hangout in the title again.
Okay.
They demonetized the videos with Hangout in it.
Oh, okay. I took Google out of it, but I didn't take Hangout out, so I'll do that. Because that's what it basically is, a Hangout, but we'll call it something else. Yeah, video chat, Stunt Hangar video chat, something like that.
They're really cracking down on stuff.
Unfortunately, everything's just so covered with regulation these days that it seems to have made your job a lot harder there. Trying to run the chat session.
Well, we're looking for alternatives at all times. I'm not real happy with what things are going on.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Now, at least we've got a way to set here and talk with each other, but there are probably ones that work a lot more smoothly. These open source people out there really put together some good software. It's just a matter of finding it and finding ones that are supported.
It seems a lot more background noise than what the old system had, but it's still okay. It's a good way to communicate, but the fact that you can talk over each other means we've got to be a bit more disciplined, doesn't it?
Yeah, I noticed the other night, it was hard if you wanted to say something and there was a ongoing conversation. It was hard if you wanted to just jump in and say something or change the subject even to get in. So we've got to kind of develop a politeness protocol that we just generally follow. It doesn't have to be any written rules, but just respect for your fellow viewers. Some people are more authoritative about jumping in and gaining control, and other people's are more quiet natured and have a harder time getting the word in edgewise.
Do you,
And
do you see that, Rusty?
yeah, what was happening the other night?
Yeah, there's a little hand on the lower left.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
So you raise your hand if you want to say something.
Yeah, I had my hand covered up. I need to draw my screen out so I can see it.
See, I've raised my hand several times.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, and it said Sparky would like to speak. Okay. Yeah, so I'll make sure that in my opening announcement every night I'll refer to that. And that's also screen share and internal chat box.
I didn't know this, but let me try this. I have never tried this. Let me open one here, and we'll go here. And, my channel. I want to try this. I don't know if it works, but we'll try it. So I'm just going to pick a random video from. I'll do the flight of my plane. Let's see this. So we go here, and I got it shut off. That's good. And I want to share this. Share. Control C. That ends in -0. And then if you go here, I'm going to see share video. -0 share. Let's see what happens. Oh, I see. I have to put it in there. Control V. Let's see what happens. Share. I'll be down. It works.
That works nice.
Let's see if the sound
Oh,
works.
there we go.
Yeah, starting now. Yep. Oh, that's amazingly cool.
Yeah. This apparently screen shares videos a lot better than the other service did.
Yeah. Very, very clear.
Let's see if the sound works, which I don't know.
Like everything, it's taking forever to load.
No, sound don't work. Oh, and it doesn't run in the window either while it's. So the sound doesn't work, but the video does.
You know what though? This one it's not jumpy on this one like it was on Hangout.
Yeah, let's watch this for a second. See what happens. Look over here on YouTube. Yeah, it works real good. I don't know how to stop it though. Let's
Yeah,
see.
there's a playlist.
Oh,
Jerry Gleer with the wrap on his knee. No, maybe not.
So I'm going to stop this. Remove. There we go. Yeah, that works good.
Yeah, it was very good quality.
Now,
Yeah, very.
there by that hand and stuff, it says share your screen. Is that to where you hold something up and you can share it with everybody?
No,
The one all the way on the left for me says share screen. It's got a picture of a little monitor or display, and then the hand is in the middle, and the chat box is to the right, the little icon for the internal chat box. Let's see what happens when you click that. I forgot. Oh yeah, we got the plane flying in. Oh, I got that in the control panel window.
how do I stop sharing now? Oh, I see. There we go. Okay. I
Try,
sure.
try a share screen, Rusty.
Okay, hang on just a second. I've got mine. I've got too many windows open. I got to close one.
I'm going to share this.
All right.
Okay, I shared this, and I don't know how to present. How do you present it to all?
Oh, I don't know that because I was trying to present to all the other night, and I realized that Jared had one presenting at the same time, and his was taking priority over mine. And I was talking about what was in mine, but his was in the middle of the screen, and I couldn't tell.
A bit confusing.
Add password. Well, if you click on my screen, let's see here. I'm sharing that, you know, our stats.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 playbacks or 47 playbacks, 15 current viewers, and the chat is over there. That's on my other screen over there. But I don't.
Yeah, it popped out too.
Speaker. Show more. Except I don't know how to. I don't know how to present it to all. So you don't have to click on it. Let's see.
I haven't been able to figure that out either. That's what bugged me with.
Open a shared account, share YouTube video, start a recording, stop the live stream, view full screen, manage video quality. Now, if we could figure out how to share to all, then it would, you know, go on the YouTube side. I don't know. There we go. Let's see here. Oh, gotta go down here. There we go. I don't know how yet. Figure it out.
I don't know either. It is confusing.
A lot more functions there, and even in the settings, there's all these extra functions. Blur my background, open shared document, share a YouTube video.
I blur my background the other day when I was the first time I ever came on, and it blew me off, and I couldn't. I rebooted and everything, and couldn't get back in until I figured out I needed to unclick that. It wouldn't let me enter a new session.
It's in beta, so don't use that. I don't know what this is. Speaker stats.
Well, obviously, some things we don't want to touch anyway.
Yeah. I got a window here. I'm dying to close, but I'm scared to close it. There's nothing.
One?
It's black, and it's got like the Milky Way on it, and a planet with rings around it, and that's all.
That's not the live stream window, is it?
It says live streaming YouTube Studio. but it doesn't have any buttons or controls on it.
The screen that you have to leave open is the one that I showed you, the one that
Yeah.
looks like this.
Yeah, I got that open in a whole new tab, so I can't accidentally go to it.
Okay, you have that. Click on my screen. Come on. You have that window open there.
Yeah,
Okay. When you want to stop, you got to go up to the end screen where my mouse is there in the right. And that'll
right at the end of the show.
right.
Alright.
Now remember,
And I guess in 2 hours, it's probably going to say restart stream or something like
Nope.
that. I don't know.
no, what'll happen is the screen will drop out and won't even tell you. So you got to go, be
There's the 3 buttons.
watching that YouTube streaming control, and when it drops, you got to go back down to the 3 dots and start the stream and select the one, Rusty.
Yeah.
Video.
Right.
A drop down box, and then hit it again. You got to do it real quick, or else you'll lose the screen.
And you can't get it back then, I guess. So
you got about 5 minutes, I think.
okay. I'll start looking at it at about 11:40, I think, and see.
What we'll do tomorrow.
What a plus.
Yeah, I'll tell you that
On YouTube, I see you said they used a nerve block in your arm, huh?
That's right.
Ain't that something?
That's what you were telling me they should use.
Yeah.
And they did, and that's why I got out of the hospital so soon.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to put me under general anesthesia, which would have been a danger to me after having had it done so recently, so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they, the second surgery on me, they put that nerve block in. But my dumb ass, they told me, like, I don't know, 8 hours after when I left, I was supposed to take a pain pill. But I hate taking pain pills. So I really tried to put it off, so I didn't take it. I'm like, well, this doesn't hurt at all. Well,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the nerve block wore off.
And you
oh
should have
my
had
God.
that pain pill
Then I
already
took
in
the
you.
pain pill, and it took like 2 hours for it to finally
Yeah.
start working enough. I was pacing for 2 hours. I thought I was going to lose my mind. It hurt so
I
bad.
knew from experience to knock it out early. So yeah, I took mine before the block wore off. This ain't my first rodeo, so I knew that much. The best way to control pain is to intercept it before it happens instead of waiting until you need it. By then it's too late.
keep it topped up in your system so it doesn't you've got that lead time to get it back in again, so don't let the medication fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will never make that mistake again. When they say take it at a certain time, this boy's going to be taken.
Set yourself a reminder. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that model that I was working on, it's just a throw together thing, but it's massive. It's a big giant profile with a OE55AX on it. I've just got to recover the flaps and recover the.
That's looking good.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
850 square inch area, and it's currently 58 ounces, so it's not looking too bad. That's with the tank and motor and the control system in it now, but I've still got to put the horns on it, and like I could recover the tail and the flaps. So, yeah, just a bit of a muck around fun thing I've done. But in fact, keen to see how the OS55 goes. I think Randy Cadbury used the 55AX and said they were quite a good motor. They were similar to the LA46, just a little bit more power, but quite tactable.
I'm setting my alarm now, so I'll remember to be ready at the button before we lose the stream. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every day. And that'll be at 11. I'll set it for 11:40. That ought to be about 5 minutes before it happens. There we go. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Yeah, that sucks because we were talking, we had gotten back onto the topic of model airplanes and we're having a pretty good conversation when it just went blip.
We're aware of it now anyway. Already to cope with it.
I thought it was because my power went out or my internet went out, but it wasn't. It was because the stupid thing drops at 2 hours.
Jared, what take apart control line plane is that?
To take apart F4 Phantom radio control.
Is it electric jet or electric?
Yeah, EDF.
You were standing in the background before. You've had it on the show before, Jared.
You can manually present anybody you want to. Like if you want to look at Jared and not whoever else is making noise at the microphone, you can click on his little film strip window and he'll stay up until you click the 4 squares or that person again.
Yeah.
So that's everybody that can control themselves like we used to do on the Hangouts, but that doesn't do anything on the YouTube side. I can't make them be able to see what I want them to highlight. So sorry, YouTube guys.
Well, I want to find. I don't understand. This is share your screen, and I don't understand how that works.
Well,
It works just like the screen share.
Hello, open a screen. Hello, I'll explain how it's done.
All right.
Open a screen, a separate window. You gotta do open another window, and then drag it off. You grab it and drag it off, and that'll be another separate window. And then hit share your screen, and it'll show you 2 windows. And which one you want to share, and you click on it, and it'll share. Here, I'll show you. So we're going to share the screen. We're going to share this one. Share. Oh, that's how you can present to everybody, Rusty, but share your screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Sure enough.
All right, so it's looking at Gerald right now, but can you see my arrow moving around?
Yeah.
Okay, you go over here and you open a window separate and you pull it down, it'll pop out. Did you see that?
Okay.
Yep, that's like a whole new browser session opened.
Okay, so now we want to share that screen. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. I stop sharing that screen. And I'm going to share another screen. And you click on that, and then you click on the window that you just opened and hit share. You see that?
Yeah.
Now that shares the browser.
All right, so you can do it, Rusty.
That could just as easily be your photo viewer too, if you wanted it to be.
Right.
Yeah. As a moderator, I wonder what happens if I click that stop sharing. No, it doesn't.
Well, one thing about it, Rusty, is that now you can share stuff. You know how to do it like you used to.
It's a little more difficult, but so I want
And it'll probably change because, like I said, being an open source program, people are out there reprogramming how the thing works all the time. And actually, I think Hangouts was open source too, but it was more restricted.
oh man, I can't do that.
No, you just, he sent us to infinity.
Yeah,
Used to do that on Hangouts too.
you can't do that.
We'll figure it all out.
Yeah, with any luck at all.
Mhm.
If we stick with it for long enough, or if we find something better, we'll move to something better.
You think this is better than the other program?
I do for the sound, and like when you showed that video, when you did it on the old one, it was all jumpy and you had to go watch it in YouTube. When you showed it on here,
Yeah.
it was super clear and
Those are my same reasons too. Other than that, this is more complicated to work.
Oh, it's pretty complicated, that's for sure.
yeah, probably on your end being the moderator.
Yeah, just to start the show and host it, it is more to keep track of. So many tabs open and things to watch out for, like making sure you're ready to click that stream button when the 2 hours is up. So
Oh, okay. But besides that, from my end anyway, I like it a lot better.
yeah, I like watching it on YouTube better. From what I've seen, I've only watched part of one and maybe a good bit of another one, and it's clearer in both video and audio, and it's more pleasant to watch over there.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I'm gonna try sharing the screen thing.
Yeah, well, we're experimental. You know, we look pretty silly getting Hangouts working for a while before we got the hang of it too, and then it flowed along. As long as you didn't have background chatter or those kind of things we couldn't control.
Yeah, especially when Helmet Head was coming on and you guys were trying to block him. And
I'm sure he's trying to find a way into this, but you still got to be a member of Stunt Hangar. Oh, if you share this screen with that link, he could copy that link out and type it into his browser and get in. That's one way. I shouldn't have said that. He probably remembers saying that now, so he'll be showing up in a minute. So be careful when you screen share, not to screen share the address bar.
oh, okay.
We can boot them.
Yeah, you can boot people fast, it looks like from here.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to get off for the night. Beat.
Okay, Steve. Thanks for dropping in.
If I have any more damn lawnmower problems, I tell you.
I like it in tile mode too. I keep switching out of it and then switching back, and as long as you know who's talking, tile mode works really well.
I like that. I stay in that all the time so I can see everybody bigger picture.
And it draws a blue border around whoever is talking, whoever's the most noise.
Oh yeah, I'm giving it a try now. It does seem to make it easier. I suppose as long as you don't have more than 12 people, or I suppose 9, they're going to get smaller, aren't they?
They
200.
will, yeah.
We can do 200 in here.
But they're going to be really tiny. I'll have to get my magnifying glass out for that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like is like, with Jared working there and the big tile, you can see everything he's doing without being at full screen. I mean, the video is really, really good.
when I on the other show, I used to see somebody doing something that was a lot more interesting than just somebody moving their lips, and I would focus on them, and we could watch somebody work while we all chatted, and and the YouTubers would be able to see that, so it would give them some more entertainment value.
Yeah. Hey Jeff, did you get any pictures of that airbrushing you did yet?
No, I think that I don't know. I haven't heard from that guy since I did that job,
No shit.
and I wasn't smart enough to take pictures of it while it was still here. I figured I'd see him again and take a picture of that thing on the car. But you know what? It really wasn't all that impressive. It was just a blue flame job. It wasn't anything real
No.
great.
Still
I
good
do
for
like the paint though.
that.
I walked out to the shop yesterday. Holly had to go out there to the freezer, and so I followed her out. I didn't have any trouble walking out there. So I was good to see that. Now I had to sit on my stool and rest for a minute, but once I was out there, I was able to move around pretty well in the shop, and I'm getting better at putting the cane down too. I just don't want to fall down out there, so I don't go out there when I'm by myself right yet.
Make sure you have a video camera going when you fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get me a hard hat and a helmet cam.
Get you a GoPro, put it on your shoulder so we can watch you take a header. And then you can share
Yeah.
it. You can share it with us in the next video hangout. But
That'd be so much fun. Yeah.
well, at least it sounds like you're gonna be able to do some work on airplanes here pretty soon. You can
Yeah.
get out there in your shop and stuff like
Man,
that.
sitting on the bench looking around at my planes hanging from the ceiling and everything, I was just thinking, gotta do this, gotta do that, getting the itch. So it's still there.
Cool.
It's been so hard to want to do anything lately. It's been a long time. So, but anyway.
All right,
Russ,
guys. I hope to see you Friday. I'll try to stay awake this Friday.
Okay, Steve Areno. See you Friday.
All right. Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Good night.
I'm gonna click on Mike up here so I can take a look at his mini bike. There we go. That's a good picture. Coleman. I'm thinking Matt, microflight dude Matt, had a go-kart that he brought over here one day, and I'm thinking it was a Coleman. It was a two-seater go-kart with lawnmower engine on it. I don't remember what the horsepower was, but he and his dad and brother drove it around over in the on the road and in the church parking lot, and I took some videos of them. They're on my YouTube site from years ago, 2012 maybe.
Hey Rusty, I got to thinking at 11:40.
Yep.
Just go not on YouTube, but go into the Jitsi Meet app and end the stream and start it again.
Okay.
We'll try that. If we lose some, if we lose some, we lose some.
Yep. There, if you do the three dots, there's one that says stop live stream beta. I wonder if that would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm gonna have to write all this stuff down for you. Yes, that's where you start and stop the stream.
Okay.
Not in YouTube. See, you got to think of this. This is the broadcasting software, and we're broadcasting from here to YouTube, and YouTube is broadcasting it to the world. This is only on Stunt Hangar right now. So you stop the live stream here. That stops sending it to YouTube. But if you start it again real quick, you'll get the drop down box. It'll say Rusty's Hangout. Come back, whatever it is. Select that one and start it again.
Okay.
You might want to start, try it now. That way you got 2 hours. and I'm here to catch you in case something happens. So
Okay.
stop the
So-
live stream now in Jitsi,
Okay, so I'm clicking the three dots and
right?
I'm going to click stop the live stream, and then I'm going to wait for a second, and then I'm going to click start. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, stop.
Now wait a minute because I still got the live button here.
It was too late when you said, wait a minute. Okay, and it asked me if I'm sure I would like to stop it.
Yes.
Okay. You want me to go ahead and do it? Okay, stop the live stream. Yes.
Okay.
And for just a second.
No,
You
we'll,
feel-
we've already done it. We'll lose it if it's taking that long.
Okay.
Okay, it's back up running. You got 2 hours from now. You can't, you have to do it immediately.
Yeah.
Still got 7 viewers, 61 playbacks.
What is the project, Sparky? Is that just where people have watched a segment of it, or how does that work?
We got eight viewers now, 63 playbacks. That means that 8 people are watching it live and 63 have watched it since we started it.
Oh, yeah.
And the average time that people are on is 14 and a half minutes.
So a lot of people coming in and leaving. But I suppose
Yeah,
the thing's sorted out, you probably have more people staying anyway.
Yeah, we're probably not all that entertaining in this session, but we will be.
Yeah.
But you got to learn that Jitsi software because otherwise, the stream will stop and you won't be able to get it back.
Yeah. But when I clicked in the stream and it gave me the box, are you ready? And I clicked yes. It never showed me a drop down box with any choices. It just said enter stream.
Hello. Do you know this? You keep telling me this stuff. Listen close. When you stop the live stream, the blue button on the right went off. That means we stopped streaming to YouTube. The YouTube black screen went circular. We weren't streaming to YouTube anymore. Go back down to the 3 dots, click on it, and start the live stream again. A box will open up. It'll give you a link to click. It'll says choose the live stream that are available to you, and that Saturday night or Stunt Hangar Monday Night Rusty Returns box will be in there. You click on that, hit go. Got it?
I hear it.
I wonder if I did it and showed you by sharing a screen. Oh, I can't share a screen because it goes into infinity.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll just become second nature after a few months doing it. It'll all start making sense, but it's just the
Yeah.
constant change, doing one thing different the next week, another thing different. It just takes a while to remember it all. You need a young 15-year-old on here that's computer savvy that can steer the thing, but I know I'd have just as much difficulty as you do, Rusty. It's not an easy task. I've had enough difficulty just getting on tonight.
Somebody, gee, oh, smart.
I was trying just.
Okay.
Hey, gang.
There you are. Hey, Ray.
Hey.
We're just fumbling about learning how to use, or I'm learning how to use it. What you got going on, Trey?
Nothing. I just got home. I went to work today and I had 4 batteries still charged up. So on my way home, I got home. I grabbed the plane. I went out and I used them up.
Ah, that's good.
And I probably put one of the best patterns I ever flew in my whole life on it. So that's that.
But you didn't record it though. You didn't get a video out there.
No,
Of
no,
course
but
not.
you know when you have it.
Mhm.
You know when you have it. And I
There's
had
my
it.
paint job. Trying.
Huh?
It's fast.
Hey,
Um,
is that your new paint job?
Yeah, it's the paint job.
You know what? You should. What I would do, I would probably continue the checkers on an elevator as if they were continuing from the wing, kind of become larger and larger. Kind of like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, just more work. No, I'm going to clear it, ink it, and fly it.
Okay,
I just wanted to come quick.
I like it.
Good. Lucky, are you going to use an 8-ounce or 6-ounce clunk tank or plastic tank?
Yeah, I got a 6 ounce on it. That should be enough.
Yeah.
It's also lighter. The airplane as it sits right there is 60 1/4 ounces.
Mm.
So about 70 on takeoff.
No,
So, well, everybody shut up. You talk too much.
Oh, a bit tired, eh?
Rusty, you got control. I'm out of here. Make sure that when you stop the stream, you go to YouTube and end the stream on the control room. All right.
Right. I do know that much. Got it.
All right, guys.
So,
Okay, good.
Gerald, what you building nowadays?
Oh, I've still got my Thunderbird on the building board there that I was just going to put it together with all the Brodack parts, the Brodack horns and everything, and then after talking to you, I thought, no, I've got to change some of it round and possibly make it at least 2-piece so I can operate on it and trim it better. And then at that point, I thought, oh, I'll just put together that other thing I've had sitting in the background because I wanted to try out the OS 55, the X55. So this ginormous model, it's about 850 square inch area. And it's nearly ready. I've just got to recover the flaps because I had to do work on the flaps. It started out as a GB, a 3D GB, and I just reworked the flaps and the tail and the moments and slimmed up the fuselage. And it's on 58 ounces. So if I can finish it a little over 60, I'll be happy. But it's all just plastic covered, so it won't go up a whole lot. So that's what I've been working on. But I really just wanted to try out the OS 55 AX because I know what a LA46 runs like. I've run a couple of those, and I've always used my old Foxes. And I was reading on Stunt Hangar on Brandy Cudbury's one of his old posts from about 2015, I think it was. He just said they were quite a nice motor to use. And I thought, well, I've got this model there. It's set up for the glow engine. I'll just throw it together and see how it goes. I'll have another model I can practice with. But I'll just have a be a quick one to get in the air, and then I can go back and carry on my Thunderbird. Wanted to have a better go at the Thunderbird and not use all the factory controls. You got me scared doing that because you realise, you can't really, once you've glued it all together, if you use the factory system, all you can do is just tweak flaps and elevators. You can't really control it a whole lot. I've got my old Magnum kit that I sort of gave up with because I know it's going to be so heavy, and it's sitting there in the background too.
Yeah. Magnum's a good plane. I flew one once, and I liked it. Actually, I was at the competition as SIG and I was flying. Yeah, I was flying in intermediate. I think it was one of my last intermediate contests ever, and I took first place. And for the first place, they gave us a carburetor, no, a distributor cap from a B-29 engine for whatever the B-29 was using. And the second place had a Magnum kit, a brand new Magnum kit. And for the first time when I went to get second place, because I liked that Magnum that I flew, so I thought it was just good plane.
Oh,
I
at least
think,
that's something we could do. So the B-29 distributor would be very appealing, but really to a full-size aviation enthusiast, I suppose most modelers would be keen, but it wouldn't have quite the same meaning as a kit you can throw together and enjoy.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was flying a what was that? It was an SV12 at the time. Anyways, so yeah, somebody was sharing with me. I like, hey, here, fly this, you know. So okay, cool. I like sharing my stuff, so people fly my planes and I fly their planes, and it's all good. It's all
Yeah,
in good fun.
sharing your knowledge and sharing some information always makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And it also makes you realise, probably like Charles found flying Sparky's model, what a light model's like, and not always the nice experience flying somebody else's model because it can be nerve-wracking, or if it's a model that's very different to what you're used to. I remember that back in the 80s, somebody said to me, "I'll fly my model, it's really great," and it had a OS-35 on it. It was a heavy model, and it was awful to fly. I wasn't used to flying anything like it. It was just so heavy, and it was affected by the wind a whole lot. And he thought it was great, but I thought it was terrible. But you don't dare say.
Absolutely. You can definitely run into that stuff. There's no question about it. Yeah, I was in Chicago a few years ago, and somebody was putting out his relatively new plane. So he asked me if I want to fly it, so I flew it, and uh, didn't really like the way it was performing, and I suggested to do some changes to it because the plane would not turn at all. I mean, it was just like a dog, right? And it would not turn, just like a brick at the end of the lines. It was a heavy model to begin with, but that wasn't something that would really bother me a whole lot. So we started to move the CG back, and the more we pushed it, the plane started to turn, start to behave, start to track. And actually, I was tracking before that, obviously, because the nose heavy plane will track beautifully, but will not corner or turn worth a damn. So we kind of took some of that away by adding corner and turn. And by the time we were done with that, and probably 3/4 of an ounce on a tail later, the plane would turn so fast that he had to close in his line spacing to cool it off, to fly to his flying style. And but we were out cornering a Legacy at the time with a much heavier plane, so there you have it. So yeah, you can make planes fly. So, but the first thing, kind of, I was just looking at your plane right now. The first thing that kind of jumped at me is that how confident are you that the nose is going to be rigid enough to get you a good motor run?
Not very confident. I did actually beef up the front of that one because the standard, the nose on it, I've narrowed the profile down because it was a GP. It had like a 1 foot depth fuselage, and I've narrowed it down, but I've also added some reinforcing because it had twist. You could twist the fuselage, the nose section. The tail's very stiff. It's a built up fuselage, and they've used quite stiff wood in the kit. But it was the nose section that have me worried, and the front of the nose was also hollow. Like on some of those old models, we had a Fox 35. There was no backing plate behind the motor. The motor went right through the front of the fuselage, and just putting a piece of plywood in there and adding a bit more material around where the bearers are has stiffened it up quite a lot.
Okay. Yeah, because vibration is your number one enemy on those profile planes. The weaker the nose, the worse the engine run you're gonna have. You will never be able to control it. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
people wasted lots of time wondering what's wrong with their engines or fuel systems, tanks, when it's just
Mm.
too much vibration.
yeah,
Yeah, having
yeah,
wet material. I think those models have got a very slim profile nose, and you just got bearers hanging to the motor. I think that's probably the worst of it. Where there's no beef around there, there's no mass to absorb the vibration, particularly with a glow engine.
Yeah.
Um,
that's kind of what it jumped at me when when you showed us your plane. I thought the nose was very, very thin. It looks like it's about 7-8 millimeters thick or so, and that's really.
well,
I
it's
mean, I'm
nothing.
not sure.
If
Whatever.
the bearers go way far back, like past the high part of the wing, then that helps make up for a lack of thickness, I think.
Yeah,
Not completely, but it helps.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a Windy Warnowski philosophy because when he was doing the doublers on the nose of the fuselage, he would bring those doublers all the way to behind the wing,
Mm,
Mm.
not to the maximum to the high point of the wing. He would bring them all the way behind the wing,
yeah.
and he was doing the same thing on the doublers in a full body fuselage as well. He never stopped them before the nose, just in an effort to make sure that the nose is rigid and has a good connection to the wing because the motor makes the he was saying that the motor creates the vibrations and the wing absorbs it. So
Yeah.
if you don't have transition of vibrations to the wing through those doublers going all the way behind the wing, he said those planes you typically they don't
Yeah.
they don't have good rock solid motor runs.
Mm. Oh, well, I'll see how it goes with this one. If I have to, I can pull the covering off and add some more reinforcement on the nose as well. But I'll give it a go the way I've got it. But
Sure, yeah.
you know, on Windy's videos, he said as soon as you start drilling holes in your bearers, you might as well saw them off. He said
Yeah.
just keep your bearers solid to keep that mass there and
Mhm.
absorb the vibration. But
Yeah.
I did one
Rigidity.
more. Yeah, I drilled out the bearers, trying to lighten it, and um, uh, unless you've got enough block in there or something to support that the vibration of the orbit, it probably is to dry light. You know, it's not very where you want to lighten the model with a glow engine anyway. But
Yeah.
the big advantage with an electric, you can build you don't have to have this big mass of weight around the nose to support your electric motor, stop it braking, and you don't have that airframe, that vibration spreading out through the airframe in the same way as well. Unless something's horribly out of balance, it stays very, um, it, it, it has the airframe feels a lot more relaxed. It's not under the same stress with an electric motor on it.
I really doubt that because the electric has very smooth running and you have no vibration from the motor at all. So
Mm.
it's very relaxed. Actually, uh, if you were to build an airframe for electric only, then you almost don't need any doublers. You almost don't need any of the. All you need is just something to hold the motor in place. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. On
And
my electric Hunter that I built years ago, I got a glow engine and I took out the doublers. I left the plywood formers, but I took out the doublers and basically lightened the wing structure, and it worked very well. It worked well for a long time. The only problem you notice if you clip the prop or you have an unbalanced spinner, then it does. It's not nice, but yeah, the actual setup is so reliable too that it just has that solid feel to it, flying electric.
yeah, that's another thing that you do in electric. If you think about it, you have uh, you have a slightly different weight distribution in a plane. In a nitro motor, you have the heavier motor, the heavier component, which is the motor, in the front, and they have the fuel tank behind it, right?
Yeah,
So overall, you have more mass closer to the nose, in a electric you have more mass closer to the CG, so it will
Yeah.
automatically turn better. Just
Yeah.
because of that, because of the overall weight of the two systems is about even.
Yeah, but it's the concentration of the mass around the CG. With
Yeah.
the little, or the one I got on the wall, the little fairy firefly, it's a little scale model, and that stunts quite well, but it was a scale model, but not intended to be a stunt model, but it stunts quite well simply because the mass is concentrated around the CG. The battery sits
Mhm.
above the bell crank because
Yep.
it's got a full depth fuselage. You take the cockpit off, and the battery goes straight on top of the bell crank, so it works out very well for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was that? Yeah, I will have said it's like for anybody that flies at intermediate level or something like that, just get yourself a good solid model with a electric setup, and you'll be amazed how fast you can learn or make progress in your flying abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like even yeah, you need a plane that will outperform you to to learn on it. If it's underperforming you, it's doing no service.
Mm. Yeah. That's
We
a logical way to go. That speeds up the whole learning process. I might have to
oh
run off because the bus is going to come with my two boys on the bus soon. So I might quit the
uh-huh,
stream, and I'll
yeah
come back once the boys have had afternoon tea. So
mhm,
I'll sign off for now, and I'll try and come back later.
yeah sure
Okay.
yeah. I learned how to fly the pattern in about less than a month. As soon as I changed to a good plane, so that's my experience.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've seen a lot of people progress very quickly when they've got a good model, and the electric models now take out all the guesswork. They make it a lot easier for a newcomer.
Absolutely. Yeah, you give anybody, any beginner, even a beginner or even a intermediate flyer that just know how to. If you know how to fly invert, do inside loops and outside loops, and you get your hands on an SV11 with an electric power plant with a good regulator for the motor, those people are gonna learn so fast. Your head is gonna spin.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Gerald, we'll say hi to the boys first.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay. I'll zoom off for now, and I'll hopefully I'll talk in a few minutes. Bye.
Okay.
So that's that. I finished the second half of the mold for the horizontal. The next step is going to be to make the end plates and the piece that goes into the end plate. So that's my next target that I need to work on. So with that, I'm going to have a pair of stabilizer molds, which means now I can, when I cut something, I can be almost twice as fast because I have to cut for two horizontals, for two wings, for two of everything, basically. And if you pull the pattern one time and you cut for two things, it's a lot quicker than pulling the pattern out, cut once, and then cut again for another one, so on and so forth. So it's better for us, anyways.
And for your own personal use, those molds will not ever wear out, will they? I mean,
doubt
as
it.
little as you'll be using them.
I doubt it. Even if those are production quality molds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're no slouches. So I have the wing mold material shipped to me, so it should be at my workplace in the next few days. Certainly by the end of the week. Maybe over the weekend I'm gonna start cutting on them.
All right.
Who knows? Yeah. Maybe by the end of next week I'm gonna have all the molds done. All I have to do just start polishing and buffing out and do all this stuff on them. So yeah. And I think we solved our problems with the painting in a mold. the elusive painting in a mold issue.
What, did you have trouble with it sticking on the wrong side or something?
Yeah, we try to do. Yeah, we try to use that rattle can kind of paint,
Yeah.
and we paint it in a mold. And initially, we use some semi-permanents, and the part would stick in a mold. But it would only stick in a mold in the sections which were touched by the rattle can paint. And I never
Mhm.
realized that. So I started to do a lot of research on what other people do, how do they do the painting in the mold, because a lot of them have do some beautiful work, right? And they do it in a mold. But the question was, how do they do it in a mold? And the only answer I could come up with, actually, are two answers that I could come up with. One of the answer was that they use only wax only in a mold, on a seasoned mold, a mold that kind of had a few pulls. Instead of wax and PVA, they just use wax only,
Mhm.
and they have a lot of success using that. But with that system, you don't want to use the rattle can paint to do the painting. Um, so they were saying something about make sure you don't have a very very tacky um, taping method, because you can pull the wax off the mold with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have something with relatively low tack to it. And the second trick to it was that you want to paint with a like some kind of a two-part uh, paint, not the rattle can style, which
Yeah.
is almost like an epoxy kind of thing. So if you do that combination, it's almost like using epoxy paint, like using epoxy when you lay up a part, and that's compatible with what goes on the other side, and kind of like works like that. So we might try something like that in the future. But yeah, regardless, we're still gonna use that probably a butyrate dope when everything's is said and done. Put some panel lines, use some butyrate dope, maybe some touch-ups here and there, and
Mhm.
just clear coat with butyrate and buff it out and stuff like that. So just to get a nicer finish. Anyways, we can also paint after molding process anyways. So that's something we know it works, and we have in the bank to use it anyways. It's just basically the same thing like you would have a plane that's already in silver coat and everything is perfect, and you take it on from there on. So which is not much. You start to add color and you start to put clear coat panel lines and you're done. But the prep work before that, it's missing in our case.
Yeah. Phantom jet starting to look like a airplane, Jared.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of weathering to it.
That looks like a big heavy plane for a little wing that it's got.
It is.
It's gonna fly like a rocket.
Yeah, it's got a lot of wing loading.
And by the way you're holding it, it doesn't look like it's exactly lightweight either.
Yeah, it's just kind of awkward.
But it looks nice. I like the Phantoms. You have a twin on it, or just a single
Single 90.
single 90? And you just split it up. Okay. Do you have like a multiple blade fan, or?
Yeah, I think it's the 12 bladed fan. Actually, more than that.
Yeah, I see there was an article in the latest model, or at least the model aviation I picked up and looked at the other day, that had an article about ducted fans in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
know, I
step
want.
away for a second. I'll be right back.
I was watching this guy on YouTube. It's called Rami RC, and the guy, it's a big enthusiast, and he loves to build planes and stuff like that, and it's good for him. That's a bit of a hack job, that stuff like he does, but comes up okay. Looks almost kind of realistic and stuff like that, um, and I also watched this other guy that built a SAS. I don't know. It was. It looks like one of those cigar-looking planes with the two jet engines on the backside, but was much shorter. Anyways, and he took the pictures from the real plane, did machining on the landing gear. It looked beautiful. I mean, the amount of detail that he put in the plane was just unbelievable. Kind of inspired me. I wanted to build one of those airliners, but uh, I just, I don't think I would rest until it's perfect. If I was doing something like that. Anyways, yeah. I'll probably just build something 3 meters wingspan, put leading edge slats, which are operational, flower flaps, which are operational. I'll make everything, even the motor with the nacelles, with the reverse thrust built into them, and just operational as well. Nice landing gears, which is very realistic. I'd go nuts on it, but too much stuff. I was just thinking about it, like I don't know. It'll be a fun project, anyways. To me, I like a little challenge. Anyways, when he was flying, and he was flying very realistically, so it was uh, plane was super lightweight during the build. It had enough wing area and very very lightweight construction in it, so that it would behave almost like the real plane. So I was very impressed with that. So it's hard to get a scale plane. I'm thinking about scale planes. It's hard to get them to fly scale. I mean, if you get a scale plane that flies scale, I mean you've achieved something, right? Anyways, is it raining over there, Jeff?
You say Jared or Gerald?
Jeff,
Oh,
is that Jeff Riley?
Yeah.
Ah,
California Jeff.
is it raining over there?
No, it's actually finally cooling off out here.
Ah, it sounds like it's raining somewhere. One of us.
It could be
Has
my neighbor's air conditioner. It sits right next to my fan. I'm out in the
that's it.
Yeah, I got
That-
my. See, can you see it? Oh, Jeff.
Ah, there you go. That looks
Yeah,
like a serious
it's a
plane.
little. It's a lark.
Mhm.
And then of course, I've got my other projects up on the wall over there. I don't want to turn the camera around though, because you'll see my Nobler with all the hanger rash.
It's okay.
Anybody that can't show a picture in their workshop and doesn't have a plane with hanger rash isn't trying hard enough.
Well, probably not building anything.
Yeah, I got several with hanger rash. I got some with.
Yeah, I got a few too. I got several in grocery bags too.
That's why I carry a broom in my truck. If I take the broom with me, I don't normally need it. If I leave the broom at home, I wish I had it.
I've been pretty brutal to this new plane that I have right now. I can't tell how many times I just smashed the tail into something, or
I remember, growing up working on half A-planes and building them and just carrying them around the shop and putting them on the table. And when I graduated to bigger planes with these huge ass wings and the tails, you know, that were almost as long as the wings, and trying to carry those around without clobbering everything in the shop was a real skill I had to learn. To even walk through a doorway with one, you know, I'd be bumping everything and knocking it around. It was embarrassing if anybody'd been watching, but I finally got the hang of it. But
I was walking in a house today, coming from the flying field. So the plane is tail forward, kind of hovering on top of my wife's car, right? So I'm moving the tail up as I was approaching the place where I hang it up, and then next thing I do, like, bam! I hit on the ceiling. You know, I really smash into the ceiling, right? Lucky that I put a layer of unidirectional carbon fiber on all the edges of my flaps and tails and horizontal and elevator, and they take quite a beating. I
the
look at
guy,
it and I just
when,
dust it off. I have
that Super Satan that Tom Luciano sent me, he's T-Bone on the YouTube chat box, but he sent me that, and then when I looked at it, it had a spar in it and a few ribs that were wavy like that, and I'm like, what the hell happened there? And he told me one time he had wrecked it and fixed the wing and replaced everything just perfectly, and it was the outboard wing. And so he'd gotten it painted and hung it up to dry. And as soon as he let go of it, the hook broke and it just came all the way down to the floor. Bam! Landed on a concrete floor and compressed that wing in about 2 inches. And he had to pull it all back apart and refix it the best he could. But there were battle scars that could never be removed. And so he patched it up and it flies fine. It's straight, but he wears his wears his knocks and bruises like a badge, you know, badge of honor.
You remember when we went to the triple tree? Here I'm going from my tent down to the flying line, and I'm walking over there, and I step on a branch, and this
Oh,
branch
it's
is
flipped up.
the
Yeah.
branch flips up like that and goes like ting right into my wing. Like, son of a, you know. And yeah,
Something
I just
impossible to repeat that action if you tried to.
I actually tried to do that. I could never duplicate it. It was so such a freak accident. It's like I really tried to do that. It's like, can I do this again? Forget it. It was like in one of those cartoons with the Tom and Jerry when they step on a
Step on a rake and wham.
on the rake and it goes smack exactly the same thing happened. I was like, how in the world did could
I'll tell you what, there have been several occasions where I've had a rake that was standing up like a garden rake with the iron tongs on it and leaning against the wall in the workshop and was about to lean over to pick something up and stepped on those tongs and saw that handle just coming straight between my eyes and reached up and caught it right there. You know,
oops.
never had one hit me, but I can't count the number of times I've done that. It seems like I'd remember to turn it around like my mother taught me, and point the tongs in the different directions.
Well, since your mom told you to turn it around, you probably make a point not
Probably
to do it
why,
then.
yeah.
If I know boys better. Or myself for that matter. Oh man, it's something like when your parents tell you to do something, you do completely the opposite.
That's
Crazy.
called rebellion. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah.
What is this message in the YouTube chat box at 11:22? Ben Main says, I disagree. Then at 11:22, Ben Main says, there's someone in your garage. And then at 11:22 again, he says, Ben Main has ATS. Ben Main has hacking the feed. Okay, Ben, go for it. We'll see what happens if Ben makes it in here. He's not exactly hacking the feed if all he can do is post in the YouTube chat box, because I can erase his messages, which I will do right now. Let's see. Hide user or put user in timeout. I think I'll go to his channel first. It'll open in the background. I'll see what's on his channel. Probably no content. That's usually what those channels say. When somebody strange posts something and you go to their channel, there's not a single video on it or anything except for a big message that said, this site has no content. This YouTube site has no content.
Yeah, well, there are people like that everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm pretty excited right now. Like I said, I'm gonna have some new material coming in. Gonna make a new outboard wing mold. That's gonna be a good addition to everything we do right now. So, I'm happy about that. That's that.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Well, maybe did more than I said he could, because the YouTube chat box just went away. Let me restore it and see what happens.
Gerald, get yourself an SV11 kit or plans and build one. You will not be sorry about that.
I've got a Victor 40, but I have to admit, I want to do some of the other things I've got now before I go on to the Victor 40. I've bought the electric conversion from Brodeck to go with it, but in all honesty, I'm more of a fun flyer. Like Rusty said one time, I'm a lifelong beginner, so I don't know how much I'll ever advance over where I was back in the 80s, but I'm more hoping my son Otto or Max doing a better schedule than me in the long term.
Did you ever think maybe your equipment is holding you as a beginner?
No, because I used to fly F2B, and then I went to flying sportsman and just vintage. And I know I've had good models in the past, but it's what you actually enjoy. And for me personally, I've enjoyed flying the scale more than flying stunt. But I like to a vintage stunt contest, and just I'm more a muck around flyer rather than a serious competition flyer. And I know when it comes to it, I always fly safe to save the plane, and that's never good because I end up with 6-foot bottoms or 7-foot bottoms, not 5-foot bottoms. And that's probably one of my biggest limitations. I realize I'm flying for fun, but not to win. If I pushed it harder, I could do a lot better. But it's not my nature, really. I'm not the competitive sort.
It's okay. Probably everybody's gonna like something different.
Yeah, I think everybody's different, and
yeah.
If anything, I try and motivate other people in our club. I'm the secretary of the club, and I try and also the newsletter scribe. So I feel my role is to motivate others and motivate the rest of the family to fly. But from a competition perspective, I'll fly the contest, but I don't really enjoy flying the contest. I just enjoy being there and having the company.
Yeah,
that's the motivator. That's why I enjoy flying my greasy, slimy models, my glows and my diesels, and that's part of the enjoyment to me. But I know at the same time I've really got a competitive model, so I can say I'm still actually trying. I'm still making an effort. And I bought the Victor kit because I thought, well, I've still got to show the effort, and I've got the gear there. I've got stuff there we can put together and show that I'm not completely out of the running. I'm not just completely stuck in the old mode.
Yeah. Well, for me, I definitely love to, talk to people when I'm contest and just definitely enjoy that. I also enjoy the competition part of it. And I think for me, what kind of drives me where I am at, it's just an experience I had when I was young. And I remember going to my first competition, and I felt like, hey, I have some good stuff over here. I'm good to go. I'm gonna compete. You're rah rah, right? So, so here I'm going to the competition over there. I'm watching what the other guys can do and the kind of equipment that they had, and I kind of felt ashamed about what I had at the time, and and I was like, never again. So I was kind of driven after that to, uh, have a have better stuff, have good quality stuff. Oh,
Somebody's
it
got a
works.
bad muffler bearing or something.
I think it's 3 tracks.
Yeah, I think it's my retracts you're probably hearing.
So that's
Retract.
that's kind of like what I was, and after that, when I was when I made the switch to a good competitive plane, I really started to enjoy. I really started to enjoy flying them because they were just so nice, and it's like you're driving a BMW Mini for racing, and then you jump into a Ferrari or something like that, or I don't know, something nice, right? And then
Yeah,
once you drive that and go like, holy smoke, this is so much fun and so cool, I want more of this kind of thing. So that's kind of what happened to me after that. And yeah,
I thought it reminds me of motorbikes that a lot of people like to ride a classic motorbike and others like to have a more of a racing style bike, a speed machine, and others
yeah,
prefer to have an adventure bike. It's all different flavors, and it's a bit like that, I think, with aero modeling. You pick the flavor that you
yeah,
like with
yeah,
music, you pick the flavor that you like.
uh-huh, yeah. So if that's, it's whatever flavor you like, and it's just room for everybody, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, I was just
yeah. I don't
sharing
know.
this because that was my experience, and that's how I was
Yeah,
like. After that, I said, "This is cool. I like that. I can get used to this kind of thing."
yeah.
Oh, Gary Sinclair's checking out for tonight on YouTube. Thanks, Gary, for coming in and watching. And thank you for the nice note you sent me in the mail. I've got it taped up with all of my other get well cards on the wall. So yours is amongst them. Appreciate that. Thanks for thinking about me. And we'll see you Friday.
Oh, good night, Gary.
So it looks like the jet is coming together. It's ready to take off.
Yeah, the airport looks nice.
Might
Very
do some
impressive.
night. Maybe we're gonna do some nighttime flying. That'd be cool to watch.
He's going to send that ducted fan across the room by accident.
A maiden flight, nighttime flying.
Yeah, cover
Hmm.
that thing with glow sticks and send it up.
How about that? Huh? Yes? No? And Jared said no
Oh, that's
way.
the retracts we're hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jared, do you have multiple servos on the retracts, or because I see the nose wheel door is operated kind of separate, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's on a separate servo for the gear door, I believe,
Uh-huh.
and then the retracts they're electric retracts, so the retracts are built in, with a servo basically on each one, and then of course the nose gear is steerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, that's my alarm to go check. Now, I tried everything Sparky told me to keep this feed from stopping on YouTube, but nothing was what he saw. So I'm going to go over to my control panel, and there's a button that says end stream. if it all of a sudden turns blue and says start stream, then I'm going to restart it. I'm going to sit there and watch it on this and see what happens first.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this out and remaiden it hopefully this weekend. So
That looks very pretty, Jared. Looks very scale. I like that.
here's the bottom of it.
Yeah, very nice.
But the important thing with a model like that is not to stall it, not let the SD get too low. You see all these accidents where people just let them get too slow on landing. Otto's coming.
Hey, look what the cat dragged did.
Here's our up and coming stunt flyer.
Well, I just want to say fly back because he's too
You're Rusty. Hello, Steve. Yes, you come on
maybe I'll come in for a bit and yeah.
So we haven't been flying for a while because the weather's been terrible. So we're all getting rusty.
Wet.
Yeah, the flying field's been either flooded out or we've been blown away by the wind. So hopefully we might get a fine weekend on the weekend that we can fly, or a day during the week where it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, when I was flying, it was just dead air, nothing, not even the lightest bit of a breeze. Maybe just such a light one that you could barely feel it. Anyway.
To me, it's harder to fly in absolute dead air than in the gusty wind. Almost, I think. I hit so much wake turbulence. My plane, that big prop and the big wing, it creates so much wake turbulence. And when I come through and hit that, to me, it's harder to fly in that than wind.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too.
Let me make a quick announcement here for everybody viewing on YouTube, especially. The feed is programmed to stop in a few minutes. I don't exactly know which minute. I'm going to try to restart it as soon as it stops because it gives me a short window. And so if we disappear, it's been a great 2 hours and I appreciate y'all visiting. If it does work, then we'll continue on until it does end. So good luck.
Or maybe we magically vanish.
Maybe not so magically, but might vanish. Could happen. Been done before.
So Jared, your son likes to fly a stunt. What's his favorite?
Well, yeah, I do like scale through.
Huh?
I like making models, but I like stunt on the flying side and scale on the making side.
You grab your diorama and we can show them your diorama.
Yeah, I'll do that.
He likes making railroad dioramas and other things as well. He just likes the general modelling, and that's why the scale modelling appeals to him. So he's reasonable at flying stunt, but he tends to forget the manoeuvres. If he doesn't practice them enough, he forgets them. And the other thing is he's flying combat, and he did quite well at the Waikato Champs. He got a runner-up prize. He got a third prize in combat at the Waikato Champs, and he just had the right mentality to fly. That he gets along quite well with a lot of the other flyers as well. And they've been quite helpful to him. But,
yeah. Sam likes combat too, doesn't he, Mike? Yeah. We don't see it.
Maybe just take the camera off there because you can just unclip it, right?
Yep.
So this. I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah, showing the tree that you made in your fence and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
I did a sort of retaining wall over here.
Yeah, he's got a big diorama in his room, railroad diorama, and this is just another set to add to the diorama.
Mm-hmm.
So he sort of made them modular, so he can put them on top of the board when he's finished them.
Uh-huh. That looks very nice. You have to tilt it over a little bit, so there you go. Like that, yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then there's your retaining wall at the front. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's pretty nice.
Yep. Yeah, well, we've been pictures.
Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Well done.
Right there.
You'll see there's something underneath too if you go on. Your pennies.
You have a cord in front of the camera. There you go. Yeah. Mike talks too much tonight. Hey, Mike. Mike. Shut up. Shut up. You talk too much.
He's been working on his motorbike. Yeah, it reminds me of the Terrell Fixes All channel. I don't know if anybody's looked at that, but Terrell Fixes All specialises in little motorbikes and lawn tractors and cultivators, and they repair everything, but they do it with a humorous twist. So if somebody keen on watching a little bit of do-it-yourself, I'd recommend Terrell Fixes All on YouTube.
So, Gerald, what radio do you use?
Talk to me.
Yeah.
I've got a Spectrum and I've got a Tyrannus.
Tyrannus. That's my weapon of choice. Tyrannus is my weapon of choice.
Yeah, I use my Spectrum on, all my pretty much straightforward, simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this plane, I've got the F-14 with the variable sweep wing and stuff like that. So on the more involved stuff, then I, do the Tyrannus.
Yeah. You use flight modes on that?
On the F-14, I do. This one, I don't.
Yeah.
This one is still pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
But like the F-14, I think I've got like 5 different flight modes on it. I got takeoff mode, normal mode, speed mode, landing mode, air brake mode. All those flight modes in it. So
yeah, that's cool. That's what I like Tyrannus about. Just so versatile, and the receivers are inexpensive. It's pretty much bulletproof, and I haven't had bad things happening to me because of the radio.
well, what's cool too is you can do it through OpenTX on the computer.
Yeah.
And you can just go in and you can do it so much faster, setting everything up on the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and then just upload it right to the radio, and boom, it's done.
That's what I usually do because I don't know how to do it on a radio directly. That's my problem, but I need to learn. I tried to take some warning switches off from the radio directly, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't know how to do it.
We got a super chat from Jamie Holford. Appreciate that, Jamie. And would somebody check in for me out there in the YouTube chat box and tell me whether the YouTube video is still up and running?
I'll try and do it. I'll go in and have a look, but I might mute myself in case I end up with feedback.
There's nothing I see that leads me to believe that the connection's been cut, except that the rolling arrow is circling on the preview on my, and it's been going for 2:05:35 so far. It looks like we're still live.
Didn't you restart that with Sparky before you got off the air?
Sparky restarted it, so maybe it's counting from there, which will give us plenty of time to finish the show anyway.
That's right. Yeah, I knew it got shut off and restarted because I saw the live.
Yeah,
You're still
I
fine.
bet you're right. I bet the clock restarted then, the 2 hour clock. So I'm probably
Yeah.
okay. I didn't
It's
think
still
about that.
it's still running.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't gonna worry about it. It'll do what it'll do.
If not, you'll hear all about it Friday.
No doubt. Well, I'm gonna get with him in the middle of the week and see if we can figure a couple of things out. I at least need to know the steps to get initially logged in because he's been logging in, starting the show, and then sending me through a set of steps to transfer the moderator power over to me and or at least share it with him. So but it says we got 9 viewers still so far out there.
Did you guys ever see that video about the Yak 130 from the Russian guy that built it? I'm pretty rarely impressed with something, but that one just blew my mind away. Not impressed me,
Yeah,
blew my
tell
mind
me
away.
what a Yak 130 looks like
It's a trainer military jet from the Russian Air Force,
from
and
the
this
World
guy.
War II era.
No, it's pretty modern,
Oh, is it?
fairly modern, yes. And this guy just made a he made the model of the plane, and with a in collaboration with the Yakolev department from over there.
Hmm.
So they fed him with all kind of like blueprints, CAD models and stuff like that. And the guy, the kind of work the guy managed to achieve, you look at the thing, you go close up on it and stuff like that, and you just can't tell a difference from his model to the real plane. It's absolutely mind-blowing, unbelievable stuff. He
If you
went
can
so
place
far
them in
to.
the right context and you can't tell what kind of tarmac it's sitting on or whatever, you can't tell it's not a real plane when
It's
they do them like that.
it's flat out, this thing is flat out incredible. Usually you can tell it's a model or something like that. Like for example, if you look at these guys like, oh, look at the big plane, does they do a 747 and with jet engines and it's huge and whatever, but the yeah, that's the one. uh,
Yeah, if you look at my screen, it's the Yak 130.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Easy.
So and they managed to make this plane, which is very very large scale, in the 25 kilogram limit for the model, and the level of detail, the way it flies and everything like that is just flat out unbelievable if you look at it. And it's he used like a phone, like an iPhone screen, little screens, and you can put on those screens anything. You can watch TV, movies on them if you want to. But he's got the all the digital, like has the flight displays, the change and stuff like that. It just, you look at that and go like, holy smokes! The the
Really, you mean the gauges light up and everything?
Yeah, yeah, and not
Wow.
it's and it has little hatches like where you have the on the real play little hatches, so you have with buttons and stuff like that from the outside. It's the level of detail on that thing
People
is
put
just.
hundreds and hundreds or more of hours into building that scale stuff. They are
Yeah,
so meticulous.
Yeah.
I think this guy uses an actual team that works with him. It's a huge team over there. Everything is CAD, CAM, computerized
Mhm.
stuff, and everything is the design in CAD. Everything is machined with the CNC machines. I mean, just the level of technology that they put in that thing is just flat out unbelievable. If you think my plane is this cool, try to look at that stuff and you go like, Trent doesn't know shit, and which is true compared to that guy. But on the other hand, if I put my head to it and I think I can match him. but I don't have the time to do all this stuff by myself. And besides, he's using a team of people doing that stuff, so I'm not going to compete with that. There's no way I can compete with that. I don't have the time.
I can understand why people get a lot out of it, but it's not everybody's forte. It's like the custom car scene. When you look at those cars that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's enormous amounts of time and effort put into it, as well as money, and you just think it's not everybody's forte. Others are happier with a much more humble car. It's like the rat rod thing took off because it was sort of a backlash to the very showy custom cars that were very popular in the 80s. You know, the Boyd style customs were just so over the top. People were looking back for something more simpler that reflected the simplicity of the 50s. And I suppose it's like that with our models. A lot of the models are based on the simplicity of the 50s or 30s. Those old-time models reflecting a simpler era.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like a miniature aircraft. It's not really like a model by the time they've gone to that degree of effort and detail. You know, some of them are just so enormous too, these large radio models.
Yeah.
You might as well build a microlight when you get to that scale. It's just so huge.
I'm serious. This is just serious modeling.
Yeah.
Proper, what I call proper modeling.
Not my forte, no, but I can understand why other people enjoy it. I'm happy with a ringmaster, happy with something simple, happy with a combat wing.
If you guys want to see it, I can share a YouTube video because it's on YouTube. But it's just
if you pop the 3 buttons over on the bottom right, there's in that list there is a share a YouTube video. I wonder what happens if where is it? Let me make sure I'm telling you. Yeah,
I got
a
a
YouTube video. Is that what you're using to share those?
Yeah, you want me to share or I can do it if you want to watch it?
Yeah, give it a try.
Year 2011, United States of America, the 9th Jet World Masters Championship. The model Rusjet Yak-130 was recognized as the limit of accuracy and a standard in its class. This model managed to receive a high static score which had ever been achieved. That was a climb to new peaks. Engines with 10 kilograms of thrust.
Anybody
each.
talking?
I am. You have to unmute it every time you say something. That's probably enough, Trey. And if you want to go ahead and kill it.
Is there some modeling?
I can hear the audio, but I can't see the video.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I can see it. Every time it heard me trying to talk, it made me have to manually unmute the mic. But that's pretty freaking cool.
yeah.
It looks like there's a whole playlist down there we could pick from too. Yeah.
Yeah, 1:30. So I'll have to show the rest of the family when my wife gets home from work. And the boys will enjoy watching that. But yeah, that's modeling well beyond whatever they're prepared to do.
Yeah. This is what I call some serious modeling. Make us looks like puny amateurs. Dabbling and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff we can do that they can't do, I bet. That they can't fly a pattern with a control line plane.
Very likely, yes.
Yeah, what that comes with the discipline, you can't fly it like a madman either. You've got to obey rules flying a model like that anyway.
Yeah, you have to. It's the scale speed. That's what's super hard to do. And what this guy did, not only did he achieve the scale look and everything on every component that he's got over there, but he also achieved the scale speed of everything. So it's I mean, if you watch him flying it in the air, it's just so realistic. It's just like it's the real thing, right? So that's totally cool about it.
Hey, Rusty.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't see it because I was outside, but I had skipped a step here when I was putting this thing back together after taking the governor off it. You got a modified throttle return spring on it, and I forgot that part. And when I went on there and fired this thing up, it went full fucking throttle, ripped right out of my hands, and went straight to the yard till it crashed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when you bypass the governor, when you take that gear out, that governor gear out, it changes the dynamic of the carburetor, and the throttle return spring doesn't work the same way. You got to move it and put it the opposite direction so it has positive tension on it. So, yeah, that was interesting, man.
Yeah. After I put the engine in my hot rod for the first time, I had it in the carport at the house and had garden hoses just jammed into the water inlets in the front of it, and decided I was going to crank it and give it a try, and the damn throttle stuck wide open, and I was panicking to get that thing shut off, and finally I had the wherewithal to reach up and yank the throttle, and it finally came back down. It had gotten stuck. So that scared me. I was afraid I'd ruined my engine the first time I cranked it.
You had it happen on a car. I've had it happen on a car. I was probably on spreadboard getting stuck. You hit the secondaries, and then the secondaries won't close because it doesn't have a full close on the secondary. Yeah, that gets exciting. If you've got a mechanical linkage, you can often put your foot under the accelerator and pull the throttle closed again. But no,
yeah, good luck. Yeah, if the lever is connected to the pedal, otherwise the lever's stuck to the floor and the pedal just flops.
Hey guys, it's 12 o'clock here. I got work to do tomorrow.
Okay, Trey.
I'm gonna say good night. You're welcome.
Okay. Good night, Trey.
All right. Good night.
Good
You
night
guys
again.
behave. Or else Ross is gonna kick your butt.
Well, try to those big trees up and get some more flights in, eh?
Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, good night.
Good night. All right.
Hey,
we spent half the show working on glitches, but it turned out good.
Yeah.
Were you in here earlier when I was showing my combat?
I was listening, but I couldn't see it.
Okay.
What do you got?
F2D.
I got the stars on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too pretty, Jared. What are you doing building pretty airplanes?
Well, this is just
going to last 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is just my sport one, so this one will never see another combat match.
Oh, okay.
But this one was a crashed one, and I repaired it, and then I covered it in the chrome, and then I just got my decals today, the Russian stars, so make it look kind of like a MiG or something, you know.
Yeah, it looks good. What do you got on
Yeah, I like
15?
that.
Four?
That is sharp.
Is that a 4 or a Profi on there?
4 of 15.
Yeah, that'll run like stink on 52s.
Where's your bladder compartment inside the lead edge of the wing?
Yeah, right where they always are. It's
Yeah. Oh,
Right
I see. Yeah.
Cool. I hope to see you in the circle someday. Get to fly against you.
I'm gonna try to come down to Huntersville again October.
Oh, yeah. I already got my hotel reservations. Room 125.
If you just want to fly combat, you come to Detroit the weekend after Labor Day. We fly everything there. They'll fly speed limit, half A, big block fast, F2, F2 fast. They'll even fly slow if anybody wants to fly it. That's probably a short
Where at?
drive. Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
Yeah, it's probably half the distance of going to Huntersville.
Yeah, well,
there's no stunt. Fly stunt.
well, yeah.
It's slow.
Primarily coming to Huntersville to fly stunt.
Is slow the same thing as what we call speed limit down here?
No,
Right.
slow is Nelson's on suctions.
Oh,
Slow is Nelson on suction, and it has to have, there's dimensions on the airplane, and it went away a long time ago, but they still fly it in Detroit. It's not slow. The airplanes are still going 100 miles an hour, but it has to be a Nelson on a suction tank.
I thought maybe it was ringmasters and yak nines and stuff.
No.
Flight streaks.
so that would be September 7th and 8th then.
I believe
Mike?
so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, you know what? I
gotta work that weekend.
My son just bought me and Holly tickets for the three of us to go see Blue Oyster Cult on the 2nd, I think, the 4th of October, maybe. It's a weekend, whatever date it is. It's the first weekend in October.
I'm looking
forward to that. That's one of my favorite rock bands. If you talk about the first 4 or 5 albums, including the live album. After that, I don't care much about the later stuff, but I love Blue Oyster Cult for the first 4 or 5 albums.
I'm going to see Iron Maiden next Monday. They're coming to Nashville.
I've never seen them. Yeah, I knew you were a big Maiden fan.
I am. I've seen them like 15 times all over the place. I got 3 buddies down from Detroit and then my crew here. I wish it wasn't.
You said you don't care. Did I remember you telling me you don't care for Motley Crue?
Not much.
Yeah.
They're all right. Vince can't sing anymore, man. I went to a couple of the last Motley Crue shows in the last 5 years, and he just can't sing anymore, man. He can't hit the notes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't pay
It's
for
a
that.
big production with the roller coaster thing that goes all the way across the ceiling with the drum set on it and playing upside down and all that shit. But you know, once you've seen that once, you don't need to see it again.
Right.
And I do remember in '76 going to see Led Zeppelin at the Omni in Atlanta, and John Bonham's drum set was on a tracked stage that went way out into the audience, and he played the whole Moby Dick solo out in the middle of the audience. And then Jimmy Page on that double neck 12 string playing it with the horsehair bow. It was just an awesome concert.
We had tickets in 1980 to see Zeppelin, and then Bonham. They were coming to Detroit. We had tickets ready to go, and then Bonham died.
Ah, shoot.
So,
and I turned down a chance to see the last concert the Who ever made before Keith Moon died, and I can still kicking myself for not going. They were coming to Charlotte, and for some reason I decided I couldn't go. But now I can't think of a good reason why I didn't. Yeah, Bob Bishop just posted Godzilla. That's one of my least favorite Blue Oyster Cult songs. That's their newer stuff, and I just don't get it. You know, it's okay. But I like Blue Oyster Cult's first, Tyranny and Mutation. The live album came after that, then Secret Treaties. And those were just fantastic albums.
Yeah.
Like the Sabbath albums, I always like those, but everything after Ozzy Osbourne left, not that keen on the Ronnie James Dio stuff that came after. But often they have their high points, and sometimes you're going back a long way in time. I was listening to that the other day while I was working on my plane, and
Morrison Hotel, wow.
yeah, and I'd
LA
enjoy listening.
Woman was one of my favorites, and that was kind of a bounce back album for them because the Doors had kind of slumped and then come back and had some style changes. But LA Woman was a great album.
Yeah.
You know, they never had a bass player in that band.
Yeah.
They had a studio bass player on LA Woman. It was a chick. It was a chick that played bass on LA Woman.
Oh,
In
really?
the studio.
Yeah, studio.
Yeah, I've still got a whole lot of my music on VHS from the early 80s. Some of them are old tapes from the 70s. But yeah, you pull them out to play them, and you're lucky if they still play or if they don't fall apart on you. The ends come off them. But yeah, it's quite neat just re-listening to a lot of old stuff that I've had from when I was a kid.
I gave Al all of my vinyl and my turntable, and so he's got all that stuff now because he loves it. That's the music he grew up on, with me playing it here.
Mm.
And I had a pretty good stack of vinyl.
Mm. Yeah, I've kept all my vinyl. I'm tempted to get rid of it because it's valuable now, but yeah, I've still got all my old vinyl. But it's not as convenient to listen to. That's the whole thing. Everybody's so used to just listening to MP3s to pull out a piece of vinyl and spin it up. It takes a bit of extra.
And all the songs are in the right order too. You know, the ones that are connected together, especially with Blue Oyster Cult. And I was saying this on another show too, is you know, one song blends into another one with a really cool sound effect connecting them. And when they broke them up into MP3s, none of that stuff matches up again. It's like playing it's like playing Livin' Lovin' Maid, or it's like playing Heartbreaker without following with Livin' Lovin' Maid. You know, it just doesn't work.
I always thought that was the same song. I mean, if they're not together, it's just not right.
I sprained my feet jumping off of my air amp onto a slate floor barefooted one night at the end of Livin' Lovin' Maid. I cocked my knees all the way, jumped as high in the sky as I could with my air guitar off of my air amp, which was actually a couch, and bam, came down on the slate floor, and I couldn't walk for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, Zeppelin was one of the reasons I learned to play guitar.
Really?
Yeah. Now I've got 24 guitars.
Oh, wow. Very serious. Well, another serious guitar piece into flying planes.
I can play the shit out of an air guitar, but I never could play one with real strings on it.
Yeah, I got one for you. It's got 18 strings on it.
Really?
The same Jimmy Page played Stairway to Heaven.
Now, I could play the drums really well, especially bongos and stuff. I used to love playing bongo drums, but I could play just about any kind of drum sets.
That's cool. We should get together here. I got a 5-piece drum kit. I got a bass rig. I got my guitar rig. I've got 2,000 watts of PA system. I got 4 mics. I got a drum mic set. I used to have a full studio here.
Other than in high school, I never had any formal drum training. Um, I learned to read drum music in high school and all, which was not much to learn, but I just played more like Keith Moon. I don't think he ever could read off a piece of paper and play the drums in his life. He was just the same stuff over and over. Boom da da doom da 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 da, you know, and the same riffs, and he spread them out over a huge drum set, and it was just great the way he did it. The Who would be chilling in the foreground, and he'd be in the background, just going full speed, you know. And so I always loved listening to Keith Moon.
The best
Yeah.
part about Keith Moon, he really wasn't that great of a drummer, but he did the best he could with it, and he had a lot of fun.
He had a lot of
The
energy.
crowd had fun.
Yeah.
And I think somebody used to have to sneak up behind him and shoot him in the butt with a little something to pick him up, a little pick me up in the middle of concerts. When they'd hear him start slowing down, somebody crawl up behind him and stick him in the butt with some morphine or something. I don't know, but it would light him back up.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It was what?
That wouldn't surprise me if they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very high energy. Yep.
The Who was just a powerful, fantastic band. If anybody, you know, it's always the biggest question, always looms. Who was the greatest rock band ever? And, you know, it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but The Who has got to be at the top of that list. So does Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. You know, it's too many to choose from. There's too many different styles, you know, to choose from.
Yeah, there's a lot depends on the era you grew up and what you remember from your youth. And some of the stuff crosses over. I like some of the stuff that came along in the 80s, 90s. Then you just think, well, there's always somebody good out there. It's just a matter of finding them. There's somebody that you'll like out there. You just have to listen around and you'll find something interesting. Yeah. The whole garage rock scene sort of morphed into like the Soundgarden, Nirvana, and all of that stuff later on. He thought, well, there's a continuum with what I've liked in the past. And you sort of think, yeah, there's something else I can enjoy there.
Yeah. It got away from the old, you know, a lot of this stuff, and I didn't recognize it at the time because I was not a music scholar, but it was a lot of it was just rehashed American blues from the old black blues crowd. Jimi Hendrix, for instance, Eric Clapton, John Mayall. You know, I mean, you know, they all crossed over incredibly.
Yeah, I just enjoyed listening to Bo Diddley or Chuck Berry as I listened to Mudhoney or just something completely different. I used to like listening to Henry Rollins and you know his stuff with Black Flag, things like that. It's all just different. It's all it's different. Yeah. Just
Most
some
of
people.
the songs told stories, or at least had some kind of heart. You know, it was just it was really music from the soul.
Yeah. Elvis really managed to cross over in a way that he appealed to a mass audience. He took the African American blues music and put it in a way that people could understand it and marketed it in a way that that really went down well and influenced so much stuff later, like the blues. I suppose it's the same with the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. They just repackaged it in a way that people could get on with it. And
that's right. The Stones had their finger on the pulse of the American public. And they would imitate us. You know, fads would come through America like disco and some country, and so they put Emotional Rescue out. That was like their disco album to me. And Some Girls, you know, a lot of that was. I might be getting my albums confused, but anyway, that was another one that just imitated the pop American music, but it didn't resemble it in the style that the Stones turned it into. But the Stones, man, they knew what we wanted to hear and they played it.
They were the finger on the button for a long time. They were really their major players for a long, long time. Reworking themselves.
We talk about rock and roll. Don't leave out Queen. Let's talk about the best voice in rock and roll.
Who?
Freddie Mercury is probably the best voice in rock and roll.
Oh, Freddie put out some beautiful music.
I didn't care much for Queen when they were out. I never went to see them.
It was kind of teeny bopper music because I had a sister that was 3 years younger than me, and I tended to revolt against the music she liked, and a lot of it is music I now revere, and Queen was some of that, and so was Aerosmith, at the time. And,
yeah, if my sister liked it, it was uncool to me. So if she David Bowie and Queen, I didn't like it. But yeah, in time you realise
a lot of it was just a knee-jerk reaction, and I didn't have any reason for liking or not liking it, except for it was bubblegum or teeny bopper. Now, bubblegum music, that was from when I was a kid, like Indian Giver or Time of the Season, which is a great song. Now Joan Jett even does it. And I love Joan Jett. I went to see her. She played, believe it or not, with Hall and Oates. I forget who opened for who, but that was a great outdoor concert up in Raleigh.
I saw Joan Jett down here at Santa Monica. I think it was 1982 or 3.
That's about when I saw her in Raleigh.
She just played Nashville the other night with Hart.
Hart? I love Hart.
Hart and Joan Jett played Friday or Saturday night here.
I've seen Hart live. They were at a rock fest I went to, the Dog Days Rock Fest in Atlanta at the Georgia Tech football stadium, which was right across the street from where I lived when I was going to college. And yeah, Hart was great. They had a bunch of bands there. They had Bob Seger, who did not like it at the time because I got sick of that Night Moves song that the radio played over and over and over. So I didn't give him any credit until later on when I could hear other versions of his songs.
Yeah. Like bands like Nazareth, they were killed. Everybody's heard their song "Love Hurts," but if you go outside of that and you ignore that song, you look at what else they produced. It was quite amazing work. I think they're from Scotland, but yeah, it's quite amazing line of work ruined by one song that made the hit parade sort of. From there on in, but there's some really good albums like "Hair of the Dog" and "Loud and Proud" and ones as a kid.
The radio in 45s did a real disservice to a lot of bands that drove songs into the ground, and did not play the flip sides of them.
No, we didn't get a whole lot of live concerts in New Zealand. As a young lad, as a teenager, I still enjoyed going to what I could, and one of the best ones was a live concert of Deep Purple at the Western Springs Stadium, and it was huge. It was.
You know what? I've never seen Deep Purple live.
It was probably the highlight. Everything else I've seen have all been smaller shows. And
Deep Purple, I always considered a fairly low talent band that had a great style.
Yeah, I suppose it goes with the
Saw him in '85.
Yeah, we were supposed to have Iron Maiden tour back in the early '80s. I remember that, and they cancelled their tour for some reason, and I had my ticket booked. So yeah, there you go, Mike. I had my opportunity to go to Iron Maiden, but they let us down for some reason. I can't recall now, but they cancelled their tour.
Before I retired, I got to work on Adrian Smith's house. That was kind of cool. Get to meet him. He signed my CDs. So I have a number of the Beast CDs signed by Adrian Smith.
Oh, nice. At the last Maiden show I went to in Vegas, I went on my 50th birthday to Las Vegas 2 years ago to see Maiden, and I got Nico McBride's drumsticks and one of his sweatbands, and I caught Bruce Dickinson's sweatband. So I come home with
All
three
right.
things at that show.
You get both sticks.
Just one.
Uh,
Did you ever see Iron Maidens, the all-girl tribute band?
The Iron Ladies.
no.
Iron Maidens.
No.
The Iron. Well, yeah. There's the Iron Maidens and the Iron Ladies. There's two different ones.
Yeah, I saw them in Vegas at Hard Rock. They were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. The Iron Maidens are American. The Iron Ladies are Brazilian. They're South American.
And now that girl that played with Iron Maidens, now she's playing with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, Alice! I saw Alice Cooper just recently. That was that they opened for the Iron Maiden, not the Iron Maiden. They opened for the um, concert. I forgot what it was now. I asked Mike if he liked them or not a while ago. Girls, girls, girls. Who's that?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue. Yeah, they opened for Motley Crue, and I love Alice Cooper. And that was another band I thought was a teeny bopper band because it was my sister's music. But as he went on, I realized Alice Cooper's a cool dude, and so I started liking his music a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot more to him than just his music. I think that's
Yeah.
the interesting part to him.
I got a big old picture of Frank Zappa on the mirror next to my bed on my bedroom wall with a big old tall Uncle Sam hat on. He's a cool looking dude. I never saw him live though.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Died
Yeah.
from misdiagnosed prostate cancer.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's one that takes out a lot of men. Yeah, they don't pick up on it early enough, and it knocks them out. One that I saw that was a reformed one back in the 90s was MC5, when they reformed and came back, went on tour, did a world tour, and that was quite
Love
neat.
the Motor City 5, man. One of my favorite bands.
Yeah. Quite a privilege to see. Yeah, they lost the original singer by then, but it was quite neat. It was just nice to know you had that bit of history behind you and seeing it.
I enjoyed the Doobie Brothers. They put on a good concert.
Yeah, like,
And,
it reminded me of
the first concert I ever went to see was the Guess Who, and they had a band open for them called Gypsy, but I knew nothing of whatever became of Gypsy. But yeah, the Guess Who, that was cool. I'd never been to a concert before, and thought it was pretty damn cool, and I enjoyed their music. I didn't know anything about them until after I went to see them. And I've never seen. Oh, I have seen Alvin Lee. No, I'm not thinking of Kim Simmons from Savoy Brown. I've never seen Alvin Lee or 10 Years After.
I saw Savoy Brown after they became Foghat.
Now that was, yeah, well, Lonesome Dave and Kim Simmons had I think the story goes, a difference of opinions. Lonesome Dave wanted to go off on a rock tangent, and Kim wanted to play blues. And so they kind of had a difference of opinions and split up. But I liked Foghat okay, but I stuck with Savoy Brown. I still listen to them just about every day.
They were a good band. You mentioned the Doobie Brothers. How about the Allman Brothers?
Yeah, I never saw them at a live concert, but I used to watch them jam at Piedmont Park when I was going to college and lived in Atlanta on Sundays. They've been known to show up at Piedmont Park and just set up a stack of amps and get out there and play.
That's cool. I never got to see them. Got a lot of their discs, but never got to see them.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to take my boys one day to some live concerts if I'm not too old and clapped out to do it. But yeah, it's quite a privilege to actually go along to a live concert. It's a completely different experience to watching it on TV or radio.
We still get to go see him occasionally. Another ticket Al bought tickets for me and Holly is the Grateful Dead. Well, it's Dead and Company or something like that now, but they are a precision clean band and they play the Dead music just like it's 1970, so it was an outdoor amphitheater. We sat on the grass and watched them a couple of Septembers ago. In between broken legs, somehow I got up there and watched them, and that was a great concert. Nobody opened for them; they just played from start to finish, from about 7 o'clock to midnight, or maybe later. And they'll post on their website. They'll post what sets they're going to play or what songs they're going to play in each set as they go along. And I was hoping Blue Oyster Cult would do the same thing, but the best I could do was look up the songs they've played at their most recent concerts. They're on the same tour now. I think that they're going to be on when we see them in October, and they're playing some of the old stuff. And then came the Last Days of May, Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll and stuff like that. I didn't see Seven Screaming Disbusters or anything like that, but and then they play ME 262 and some of that stuff's really, really great.
No, it's nice when they play some of their old hits, but you can understand a lot of bands just don't like to replay what they've always done, and all the crowd favorites. They want to put out some new music and get something different happening. But
and the Dead and Company, they play covers. They play other bands' music too, and do a beautiful job of it. And actually, my son's wife and friend were they brought some blotter acid with them, so they were all dancing and having a great time. I opted out of that. I'm not in the kind of mental health you need to be in for acid anymore.
In a way that you're comfortable. There's no point pushing yourself beyond.
If you don't feel right about taking acid, then don't take it. I don't know how many acid heads are in here. I'm betting I know of one, but anyway.
Can't admit anything on the internet, man.
Yeah.
My thing was mushrooms.
Oh well, when I was young, I belonged to a heavy metal club, U235 heavy metal club, and we enjoyed going to all concerts together and just hanging out together and just enjoying music. I never played music; I'd rather work on my cars, but I enjoyed the scene when I was young.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm a music appreciator. A strong music appreciator, but I don't play a lick other than the drums, as I mentioned.
Yeah, my wife's the one that actually was a musician. She actually went quite far with her music learning, and she's got a piano and a couple of old reed organs, and she plays the old heck, what do you call it, old accordion thing that her father passed on. Yeah, she's really good with it. Yeah, she's actually really good with it. But you just think, well, she did it all from a formal standpoint, and very different appreciation. But it's still music. It's just a different way of doing it.
Mama's got a squeeze box. Daddy never sleeps at night. I bet we're offline. Let me go look at that other page and see if I can tell. It still says end stream as an option, so I don't know. The little thingy's going around and around. Let's
Yeah, we've
see.
got well we're modeling now, but yeah, we're still live. Yeah.
I don't know. It might still be going. There's 6 YouTube people out there. And if I say, if they're still live, they'll hear me say it now. YouTubers, y'all count off and let me know. Is YouTube still playing live out there? Type in and give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know if I'm still seeing us. I hope so. This is a good show. Hate for everybody to miss it just because I don't know how to work the damn thing.
I think we've got a window still open. You're live. Yep. Jack Snavely states you're
Yes.
live.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here pretty soon. But hey, I done pretty good for my comeback show. It's my first official comeback show of the second generation. So
Very good.
well, let's call it a night. I enjoyed it, man. Y'all are great. I appreciate everybody coming and watching, and the same for you YouTubers out there. Thanks for any of you guys that gave us the super chat. Click $sign there at the bottom of the chat box. We always appreciate that. That helps out me and Sparky. I get a little bit of modeling money for that, and Sparky pays his server fees and broadcasts from his shop and from the Nats and Brodak and all those places. So let's see. Look, Kinks, Zombies, and oh yeah, somebody still with yeah. Brad Bronner says Kinks, Zombies, and Animals. Yeah, I give you a thumbs up on all of those, Brad. Don't know you, but thanks for chiming in. And yeah, Bob Bishop says great to see you back, Rusty. All right, great. I'm glad to know it's still playing. But anyway, everybody have a great week, and I will continue to improve and walk my laps around the house and get my strength back. And how's it coming on your bike there, Mike? You making any progress?
Yeah, I just had to make the throttle return spring, and then I'm making a push rod for the actual throttle to the carburetor.
Yeah. All right.
It won't go full throttle on me this time.
Good. At least it won't stay there if it does.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all all come back Friday and talk to us. And until then, fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, man. Have a good week.
Thanks, Rusty.
Sure thing, Gerald. Let me see if I can check out of here. In stream in 3, 2, 1, boom.
Right.